The vice president didn't wait for a committee. No hearings, no warnings, no appeals. 17 minutes ago, using emergency executive authority, he suspended Federal Judge Harold Caldwell, effective immediately. And just like that, one of the most powerful men in the judicial system was gone. But that's not the part they're avoiding on the news. What leaked this morning wasn't just a list of names. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't a document floating around the Capitol. It was proof. Time-stamped communications, recorded calls, coordinated actions, evidence showing that what happened in the Witness 14 case wasn't justice. It was a hit. And Judge Caldwell? He wasn't at the top of the list. He wasn't at the bottom. He was right in the middle of something much bigger. And this morning, it cracked wide open. The leak hit the internet at 9:47 a.m. Eastern. By 9:52, the vice president was on the phone. By 10:04, Caldwell's career was over. 17 minutes. That wasn't panic. That was preparation finally paying off. Because this didn't start today. The documents, 14 pages, single-spaced, contained names, dates, internal messages, and something no one expected. Audio recordings. Not transcripts, not summaries, actual calls. On page 7 was a conversation from March 2023, Judge Harold Caldwell, and a discussion about Witness 14. Witness 14 was a protected informant in a federal corruption case, someone who trusted the system to keep them alive. Caldwell was responsible for enforcing that protection. 3 days before the witness's identity was accidentally disclosed in court filings, Caldwell received a phone call, 11 minutes and 47 seconds long. In that call, a voice asked, "Can you ensure the filing goes through unsealed?" Caldwell replied, "These things happen. Clerical errors. Nobody tracks them. Nobody tracks them." 2 weeks later, the witness's home address appeared on a doxing forum. 3 weeks later, the witness vanished. 4 months later, the body was found. What happened wasn't random. It wasn't coincidence. It was the result of a decision, one signature, that made a life expendable. That's what the list proved. That's why the vice president acted in minutes, not months. But here's what no one expected. Caldwell wasn't alone. The list named other judges, some active, some retired, attorneys, media legal analysts, and one name completely redacted. Metadata showed the redaction was added after the document was created. Someone knew this was coming. Someone protected someone. And then came the call. At 10:04 a.m., Caldwell was in his chambers, preparing for a hearing. His private line rang. "This is the office of the vice president." He laughed. Thought it was a joke. Until they told him the list was public. Until they told him he was suspended. Until they told him federal marshals were already on the way. The silence lasted 11 seconds. By 10:14 a.m., Judge Harold Caldwell was escorted out of the building, 17 minutes. But while cameras focused on the marshals, something else happened. 2 minutes after the call, Caldwell sent 11 text messages. Those messages were preserved before his phone was seized. Who did he warn? Who did he contact? And why did investigators want him to send them? Because this wasn't just an exposure. It was a trap. Legal experts are now divided. Some call it the most important anti-corruption action in modern history. Others call it the beginning of the end for judicial independence. And both sides might be right. If the evidence holds, the system failed long before today. If it doesn't, then no judge is truly safe. Either way, trust is broken. Every case Caldwell touched is now under review. Thousands of rulings. Thousands of lives. Everything is in question. And this is only the first drop. Sources say a second leak is coming. Bigger, deeper, and centered on the redacted name. When it breaks, today will look like the opening act. This story isn't over. It's just beginning.